Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. I'm Teopius Abel. I haven't really done any videos that are formal like this one. I'm also pretty small, so it's not likely that a ton of people will see this, but it's something that is pretty important to me, being a fan of the Assassin's Creed games. And so I just wanted to make this video. I hope you guys enjoy it. Just excuse the audio quality. I don't have a headset or a microphone. All I have is my PlayStation controller, and I'm going to get the headset soon, but for now, this is the best I got. I just thought this topic was important enough to talk about that I thought I'd just do my best, so I hope you guys can bear with me here. So like I said, I'm a big fan of the Assassin's Creed games. I've been playing since the first one, and I initially got into it because I am a big fan of stealth games, and I really liked the way it made you feel like an assassin, like the way you blended in, the way you got closer to your target and found opportunities and windows for those kinds of things. And that was what I really appreciated about the first games. So when they kind of changed this RPG style, I just kind of lost interest because it just got so far away from what I initially got into this series about. It didn't really feel like an Assassin's Creed game. Like, I understand that Division was successful. I understand that they changed Ghost Recon, but when it happened to Assassin's Creed, I just didn't feel like it really fit with what the game was originally going for. I feel like in part it kind of lost what made it special from the beginning. And so I stopped, I played a little bit of Origins, but I really stopped after that. This game, however, is really back to its roots. It feels a lot like the first game. It has that stealth focus back in the game design, where a lot of the missions, for the most part, are purely stealth based, and you can get through each mission without getting detected at all, without having to do any combat. There's a couple, but most of them are completely stealth focused, and they bring back a lot of the stealth things used to do, like the bushes and the hiding spots and the blending. A lot of these stealth things that we loved from the other games are back in this game, and it feels so good to have them back. I think the combat in this as well was designed, it's very simple. I've heard that it's much less simple than the RPG games, and I honestly would assume that's correct. That sounds like it would make sense. And the thing is, I think it works good for this game because the combat is actually pretty difficult, and not because of some arbitrary number that determines how much damage you do or how much damage they do, but simply because the combat is very much timing based. It's very difficult, and it's very easy to get overwhelmed. It's kind of like Ghost of Tsushima, but with less combat focus. And I think that actually plays well to the game's strengths and to what it's trying to go for, because combat is more difficult. It makes it where you want to stay kind of in stealth as long as possible, take out as many guys during stealth as you can, so that way if it ever goes into combat, it's much less difficult. And I think it really is just a part of the stealth-centered game design. When it comes to story, I'd say it's decent. I think the best part is the characters. The performances are really good. Basim as a protagonist is also pretty good. I think Ihei starts out really well, and his motivations are well set. The only thing that is that after that initial momentum that you get from the start, it doesn't really have a through line, so you kind of don't really get to keep that momentum, and the pacing suffers a little because of it. I'd say we're not all the way back to the roots of the first games, where they would have really compelling and interesting stories, really deep in religion and all that cool stuff that they had. But I'd say this is a pretty good start for getting back to the basics of what the old games used to be. When it comes to the graphics and performance, as you can see, it looks pretty good, and it performs actually really well. I haven't really had any hiccups or dips or anything like that in my 15 hours or so playing. The one thing that kind of, I guess, bothers me, I don't know if it bothers everyone else, is just some cutscenes are in 30 FPS, and most of the other cutscenes are in 60, so sometimes you'll be going with a 60 FPS cutscene, it'll just kind of change frame rates, and for someone like me, that's really noticeable, but if you don't really care, then you're probably not going to notice. It's nothing huge, it's not a bug or anything. It's just the way the game works. So if you're fine with that, you know, there's nothing to worry about. Other than that, like everything else is works great. The only thing I would say is that this game is a tiny bit buggy. Like it still does have bugs, just like the other games had their little quirks and bugs. They're nothing too big. Just sometimes you know can't get up on a ledge that you want to get up. You just got to kind of jump a different way or something. Nothing huge. It's not gonna stop your game or anything like that. The parkour itself, I'd say, is pretty good. I like it a lot. The one, if there's any like shortcomings with it, like if you feel like it's a little slow or it's a little sluggish, it is built off of the same engine as Valhalla. Like it was supposed to, this game was supposed to be a DLC for Valhalla, so just keep that in mind when you play it. That like if you feel like the parkour is not as quick as the other games, it is working off the same thing as Valhalla, which was less focused on parkour in general. So just keep that in mind. So, despite the few negative things I mentioned, I think this game really is great. It's not the best in the series, but I think it does show a lot of potential for what the series could do in returning back to its roots. And I think this game has returned back to the roots and set a really good example of what an Assassin's Creed game could be as it returns back to the classic formula. If they keep along this track and make more games like this, I think fans like me of the classic games and the classic formula will be returning a lot more often to play the newer games in the series. Now, the thing I wanted to make this video about as well, a big focal point, is the fact that like what I see when they are releasing this game is not simply releasing another iteration of the series. I feel like this game is meant to test the waters, if you will, to see if people really want the new formula all that much, or if they really prefer the newer RPG like formula that has become more common nowadays. Now, if this is true and Ubisoft really is just testing the waters to gauge interest, I'm concerned in seeing that there are a lot of people, even fans of the original games, that are on the fence about buying this game or not, because of the story or because of other extraneous things. The thing is, if you are a fan of the older formula, of the older games in like the stealth and feeling like an assassin, you should buy this game because it will give you what you're looking for. And that is someone speaking as a fan of the older games and the older formula. And if you are a person who likes the RPG games, maybe you might get this game and not find as much enjoyment out of it. Like that, sure, that's completely possible. The people I'm talking to are the people who are fans of the older games and who have missed that formula, like me, who are fine with the RPG games and it's fine if people like them, but you really want games like this again. And the thing is, if you want the future of Assassin's Creed to have a little bit more Assassin's Creed in it, you should buy this game. I'm not saying you buy this because it's the best Assassin's Creed game yet. I think there are probably still better games in the past that have come out. But the thing is, you buying this game and showing Ubisoft that this is important will help us as Assassin's Creed fans, classic Assassin's Creed fans, get the gameplay and the style of Assassin's Creed that we've been waiting to have for a long time. So in the end, I just wanted to say that I think if you are a fan of the classic games, you should get this game. That it is important that, you know, fans like you buy and support this game so that we can change and show Ubisoft what games we want them to make in the future. Because the thing is, it's up to them what they want to do with the games that they make, of course. But if you buy the game and you support this game and this game makes enough money, I don't think they're going to let up the chance to appease a fan base that is, I guess, thirsty for more, you could say. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, for those of you that do watch. I would like to make more videos like this. Again, sorry for the microphone quality. I do not have a headset even to be able to improve that. I'm literally, recording off the controller. I just thought that this video was important to get out. But I would like to make more videos about different topics in the future. Not just straight up reviews, but like analysis and discussions about certain topics that I'm passionate about. So if you guys liked what you saw, just, leave a like, leave a comment, tell me how I did and how I can improve. Just try and be as polite as you can, I guess. And, let me know and subscribe if you would like to see, I guess, where I can go with this channel. It's just kind of like a hobby for me. And I just kind of wanted to, you know, express what I'm thinking about, what I'm feeling. So thank you guys for sticking around, and see you guys later.